Are you feeling stuck, low on energy, and feeling like midlife is just something you have to get through? Well, I got really good news for you. It really doesn't have to be this way, because midlife is not for settling, it's for resetting. And that is exactly what I'm going to discuss in this video. I will take you through steps how you can reset your midlife and thrive like never before. Hi, I'm Misha and I'm a midlife reset coach. I help moms to reset their midlife so they feel great in their bodies, they feel confident in themselves, and they're full of energy to create and live their best chapter of their lives yet. If you are ready to make real lasting change, make sure you grab my free midlife reset guide, which is linked in the description below. Also, if you resonate with this kind of content, please do hit that subscribe button, as it helps me to create more content like this. Okay, let's talk about midlife. So, society tries to tell us that midlife is here for us to slow down, wear sensible shoes, wear sensible clothes, and basically accept that gravity is winning. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. Midlife is here for us to flip the script, and actually it's beginning of something new. It's beginning of something even better. But let's be real. Perhaps you are feeling completely stuck, frustrated, and perhaps a little bit lost right now. And perhaps you've been putting everyone else first, your kids, your family, your work for years. And now you're wondering, what about me? Maybe the weight you've been meaning to lose feels impossible to shift. And, perhaps you need like 5 coffees just to get through your working day. And, I completely get you. I've been there. I really felt stuck. I felt like it's all downhill from here in midlife. And anything I tried just wasn't working, or at least it was not giving me any long-term results. They were really kind of short-term changes. But the moment I decided to focus on 4 key areas: mindset, lifestyle habits, nutrition, and reinvention, everything has changed for me. With these 4 key focus areas, you can also make your midlife the best chapter yet. And no, it doesn't require any punishing workouts, diets, or becoming a meditation guru, unless you want to, of course. With small sustainable changes, we can make a massive transformation. Once you start working on these pillars just a little bit, you will slowly feel the transformation happening. You will slowly feel more energized and also inspired, motivated, and basically suddenly you realize you truly are living the lifestyle that you have designed, you have created, and you wished all those weeks, months ago when you started this journey. And the beauty of being older, being in midlife, is that you actually have so much knowledge and you've done already so much work. You went through so much, and you know by now what are your values, you know what you want in your life, you know what you don't want in your life. So actually you've done so much groundwork that now you finally can apply it and design the life that you truly desire. And if you haven't already, it is time to sit down and ask yourself, what do you want from your life? What would you like to create? How would you like to feel every day, in your mind and in your body? And what kind of lifestyle would you like to lead? And what kind of future would you like to create? All right, guys, so let's start with the first pillar. And basically the first pillar is foundation of any change. It is your mindset. Your mindset basically shapes all your actions, outcomes. It also shapes, your success. It shapes whether change is possible for you or not. It also influences your health, your well-being. And, that's why it is really critical to focus on this as the first pillar, because it is really foundation for everything. Change basically without the right mindset is very difficult, because it's not just about your actions. It is really about your beliefs, about your mindset. And yes, in terms of your beliefs, it's so much about what you believe is possible for you. Do you believe that it is possible for you to change? And guys, there is so much on mindset in terms of how to change your mindset and positive thinking, and what you should do. However, I really want to just focus what was most powerful, at least in my experience, and that is really, first of all, is to answer one question, and that is why. Why do you want this change to happen for you? If you, for example, want to shift some weight, is it because you want to have more energy to play with your kids? Is it because you finally want to feel great in your clothes and confident within yourself? You want to go out there and socialize? What is your why? And what is even, keep asking the question why, and then go deeper. Why? Okay, so don't just stay on the kind of low surface level. It's really important to really go deep and answer, why do you want this change? Because that will really pull you through those days when you're not feeling motivated. Your why will pull you through those days. Okay, then it is your beliefs, right? If you got limiting beliefs, and for example, you believe you're the kind of person that change is impossible for, and again, I keep using the same example, but if you believe that it's impossible for you to shift weight and to feel energized, because you haven't been feeling like that for, let's say, past few years, then it's very difficult to change and to do anything about it. So we really need to flip those beliefs. For example, if you're feeling like, and you're telling yourself, I'm not fit, you need to reframe it. We need to reframe this belief to, I'm not fit yet. And that really shifts your beliefs, right? You are working on it. You are not fit yet, but you are becoming that person, right? And that brings me on to self-identity. You are becoming this person, and this was really powerful for me. It's basically, how do you see yourself? How do you see your identity to be? Because actually, I used to see myself as someone who always failed in terms of losing any weight, in terms of actually staying on a healthy diet, and someone who couldn't sustain any weight loss. Once I identified this, it really changed things for me, because I basically built identity around seeing myself as someone who chooses healthy eating, healthy habits, and someone who actually sticks to it. And this self-identity shift was really powerful for me and works really well. As I said, I will do another video, a lot of videos, and I could go on mindset a lot, but we've got another 3 pillars to go through, so I'll stop here. However, if you're interested to read more on what tools you can use to shift your mindset, then look it up in my blog, which is linked in the description, or of course that is what I'm taking my clients through in my coaching, in my program, and that is also linked in the description. Okay, so once we have the right mindset, now we can move on to our lifestyle habits. And let's be honest, mindset is great and definitely will push us through the hard days, but actually it's very important to create and build the right lifestyle habits. So it's time for your lifestyle audit, and basically the main focus areas in terms of lifestyle is to look at your stress levels, because that really is not helping you in any way possible. If you in constant stress, let's say again going back to shifting weight, high levels of cortisol, it's very difficult to shift any weight. and it's influencing basically everything from, your sleep to your eating habits to how you feel, how you think, and so on. And then, how are you sleeping? Are you getting good quality of sleep? And these kind of areas might feel a bit like very obvious, very boring, but actually they are really important. It's a foundation of any good lifestyle habits, is to decrease your stress as much as you can, to sleep well, and not just the length of sleep, but actually quality of sleep is very important. And then, of course, look at your eating habits. Are you snacking mindlessly in the night, during the day? Are you eating whole foods, or are you eating ultra processed foods, which really are not helping you to feel good, to look good? You really need to reduce them to a minimum. And what about movement? Are you moving your body enough, right? I'm not talking about, going to the gym every day or running every day. Actually, the latest research is showing that putting too much stress on our body as we are getting older is not good for us, because again, that is spiking our cortisol and is not good for our body if we exercising too much, right? Even like HIIT, yes, it's good for our heart, but it's been proven for especially for older women, it's not necessarily the best way to approach moving your body, right? So I'm talking about, are you walking daily? At least, 5,000, 8,000 steps. We're not even talking about, are you doing 10K every day, right? Just some kind of movement. Are you trying to move? Are you, doing a bit of stretching in the morning? And then what's really good is actually lifting some weights, so some strength exercise. And even if it's, for example, 20 minutes twice a week, 3 times a week, building your muscles, right? And every exercise, every movement counts, even, if you're doing housework, you're hoovering, you're doing some gardening. The whole point is that, are we moving our body, or are we just sitting most of the days? Because that is really unhealthy. And this is it really for the lifestyle habits. Again, there is a lot that I can talk about, but these are kind of the main areas to focus on in terms of your lifestyle habits. And then again, there are so many different strategies how we can change our habits and make it more sustainable. One book I would really recommend to read on how to build habits is called Atomic Habits, and I completely forgot the author now, James somebody. Anyway, if you Google Atomic Habits, you will definitely find it, and that is super useful. What helped me, it's got so many good strategies in terms of how you can build healthy habits, how you can make them sustainable. Okay, let's move on to the next pillar, which is nutrition. And if you're wondering why my background changed and why it's a little bit darker here, it's because I'm in a different room. Okay, so before we actually start talking about specifically food, nutrition, one a really good tool that I recommend for midlife is fasting. And it's really good in terms of helping to manage cravings, helping to balance blood sugar levels, as well as, it basically gives your body a chance to recover, to repair cells, and it actually slows down aging. So it's really something what helps me with my cravings, and yes, everything basically what I mentioned. I really recommend for anyone who hasn't tried fasting to at least give it a go. I know it's not completely for everyone, however, it is a really helpful tool. So in terms of how to do fasting, it's a whole big topic, of course, for another discussion, but it's very important to build up gradually fasting window. So where I started is with intermittent fasting, and that is what I do basically most of the days. So the way it works is, for example, you finish eating at 6 p.m. So you kind of close your eating window, and then you start eating, let's say, you start eating at 10 a.m. And then gradually you kind of build up to whatever your goal is, depending on what your goal is, how you're feeling. But I build it up, so basically I eat a little bit later. So most of my days I start eating around 12 o'clock. And then I finish at 6 p.m. So that is my 6 hours window of eating, and the rest I'm fasting. And that really helps me to manage my cravings, my weight, and it's really good actually. One really important thing I forgot to mention, it actually increases energy. It increases the level of concentration. It helps me at work to be kind of more focused, or just generally more focused. And yes, it's just a great tool. It's kind of a must for midlife for most of people. So in terms of nutrition, a lot of these points I'm going to discuss you probably already know. However, they are really important basics of healthy nutrition, and how you can lose weight, how you can maintain healthy weight and have high levels of energy. So the first really important one, especially for midlife, is to increase your protein intake, because protein is going to make you feel satisfied, so you don't overeat. It helps you to build muscles, which is really important again, because we lose a lot of muscles and we keep losing more muscle mass as we become older. So yes, I recommend around 30 grams at least per meal of protein, and that will really help you with feeling full and with having basically balanced meals. So that is really the important pillar, followed by whole grains and of course whole foods, right? Let's not forget about the first basics, really. Let's kind of reverse. So whole foods, right? Always over processed foods, and ultra processed foods are the worst. So those which have, generally we call them, 5 ingredients and more, ingredients which you don't know, they will not make you feel satisfied. They're just gonna make you feel crave even more ultra processed food. So really be careful. Try to reduce them to a minimum or just to treats, right? So whole foods, 1 ingredient foods are the best. Let's move on to whole grains and carbs. All right, so the next one is to swap simple carbs for complex carbs. So stuff like quinoa is great. That also contains a high level of protein, and sweet potatoes, brown rice, whole grain pasta, whole grain bread, rye bread. They're just great. They really help us to crave less because they're slowing down release of sugar. So basically, they keep our sugar levels stable. So that is really important, to swap simple carbs for complex carbs. Okay, moving on to the next one, healthy fats. And don't be afraid of healthy fats. Don't be afraid really to put those on your every, basically include them with your every meal. So stuff like avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oil. For example, when you're frying, instead of sunflower oil, instead of seed oil, use tallow. That is great. Don't be afraid of that fat on your steak. It really, it's something what we really need, and something what in the past was kind of highlighted as something bad what we should avoid. But our brain contains so much fat and needs so much fat for healthy functioning. So yes, definitely healthy fat is one of the most important factors on our plate. And some more obvious things like portion control, right? And I'm not saying count calories. I don't ever count calories. I find it really boring. There are many different ways how you can make sure that you're not overeating. Cooking more from scratch, reducing those takeaways, and of course, decrease intake of sweets. So just in general, sugar actually is not useful for us at all. We actually don't need it, and is worse tolerated as we get older. And the last pillar is reinvention, which basically means to redefine your purpose. So, midlife is not really to slow down, is not really to kind of settle. This is really your chance to take everything what you learned so far and to apply this to your future and design and create life that you truly feel happy with and fulfilled, and you are leading kind of lifestyle and kind of life they always wanted, without any societal expectations or following what your parents told you to do, what your friends expect you to do. This is really time for you to sit down and to ask yourself important questions to make sure that you do live with purpose. Think about how does it make you feel to do certain activities. That is really how you know whether you are living purposeful life. Are you spending most of your time doing something which makes you feel good, right? It's all about how does it make you feel. Is it making you feel great within yourself? Is it making you feel like, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing? And if you really don't know where to start, you can ask yourself questions. What activities make me to lose track of time? What activities did I used to enjoy when I was a child, when I was a teen, but life got in the way and I had to stop them? What's the one thing you always kind of said, I would love to try, but you didn't have time. There was always some kind of excuse why you have not done it. Perhaps it's the time now to go ahead and to try it and see whether that is something you really enjoy doing. And then comes to your values, like what do you truly value and what do you truly care about? So this one, kind of redefining my life purpose, was for me one really missing piece in the past. And again, this is something what I go through in my program with my clients. It's a process, right? For some people, it might not take that long, but it is a process, and it really is worth of your time investment into it. Because once you can really know what lights you up, what makes you feel great, everything suddenly shifts. Everything feels different. And basically you live with purpose. You get up and you feel motivated even when you feeling tired. So yes, this is one last pillar. I initially called it bonus pillar, but actually I think this is truly important, and a lot of people don't actually know what makes them feel alive, what makes them feel fulfilled. And just by asking themselves questions, answering them, and spending some time thinking about it and experimenting with this, they can really truly change their life. I'm hoping you have found this video useful and it has given you some useful tips, insights, advice which you can apply and which can help you to reset your midlife so you can create a life that you always wanted. And you can live with purpose, love your body, feel healthy, full of energy, and create the best chapter of your life yet. If you would like to get started, don't forget to download my free midlife reset guide, which is in the description. And if you would like to see more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next video. Thank you.